All the TNT leaders.
You guys look great. I'm really happy to be here with you. My name's Ryan, and maybe you've heard my mom tell stories before. My mom's name is Miss Lynn. Did any of you know her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
She comes in on Sunday and tells us stories.
Yeah. Well, I've been over in Africa, in a country called Kenya. It's pretty far away. It takes about 11-hour plane trip when you go to England. Then you get on another plane. You take about another 11-hour plane trip, and you can finally get over there to Kenya. So, if you ever find yourself complaining that maybe the ride to school is taking too long, well, just try to take a ride to Kenya. That takes a long time there. Well, let me tell you a couple things that I brought with me. This thing right here is really important, especially if you live out in the wilderness. Anybody can guess what this might be? Yes.
Mini table.
A mini table. You know what? This could be a mini table, but it's not the main use that it's used for. Anyone else want to take a wild guess? Back there?
A desk.
A desk? Okay, that's kind of like a table, and you probably could, if you really wanted to, use it for something like that, but something else. Yes?
Kind of like something that can hold stuff?
Yeah, it can hold stuff, yes. One last guess right here.
A bowl. A bowl?
A bowl. No. Well, what if I told you that you can just use this like this?
A chair.
It's a chair. And this is what all the Africans that live out in the wilderness, out kind of in the desert, and all they do is walk around with their goats or their cows or their animals every day. Every single man will have one of these in his hand, and it's just the common culture. And so when it's time to stop walking with the animals and take a break, you don't have to sit down in the dirt. You just sit down on your little stool that you carry around with you. So let me pass this around so you guys can take a little closer look. They hand carve it with a knife, and they'll cut it all out by themselves. It's a really they told me that's a good one. You know, I bought that. They charged me a high price out there. It's probably approximately $3 or $4 to our money, but to them I paid a big price. But that's like a big one. They have some of them that have little small seats, even much smaller than that. But anyway, this is another thing I brought from over there. This is a bracelet, and this is just the kind of jewelry that they make. You can pass this around and look at it. It's kind of got little wires that got beads all around it. And then obviously, this shirt is not something I picked up in the mall. This is kind of a dressed up kind of shirt that you might wear in Kenya if you're going to church maybe, or if you might be going to a wedding or something like that. You could have a shirt like this. This is kind of fancy, but I like it. It kind of makes me feel like I'm part African or something, you know. But when I was over there, I got to do a lot of different things. I got to go a lot of different places and eat some different kind of food. You know, they surely will have some different habits than we have, and they can, their favorite food will probably be a little different than your favorite food. But some things are the same. Like they even have like corn and beans. Like that's one of the main foods that they eat every day. In fact, that's what they can eat every day for lunch. They will always eat corn and beans, and they mix it together and they call it githeri. Okay, can you say that word? Githeri. That's right. That's Swahili, and it just means corn and beans. So there's a verse that's on my heart, and that I think that it would be wonderful if you guys can try to remember it. And it goes like this. It says, "Rejoice always." Can you say that? Rejoice always.
Rejoice always.
Pray without ceasing.
Pray without ceasing.
What does pray without ceasing mean? Yes?
You pray. You have to pray without saying.
Yeah, and without ceasing means to do it all the time. You pray all the time. So the verse says, rejoice always, pray all the time, and because for this is God's will for your life. That means this is what God wants you to do. This is God's desire for you, is to be thankful and to pray all the time. And that's what I found out over there, is that I take advantage of a lot of things when I lived here in America. You know, sometimes I might complain when I'm over here and be like, man, I can't get the kind of, I don't have enough money to buy maybe this new name brand pair of jeans or this expensive pair of sneakers, you know, or maybe I don't have enough money to get a new fancy car that I want. You know, I'm mad. You know, this isn't fair. My life stinks. But then I got over there and I saw how a lot of people live there, and they don't have they're happy if they just have food to eat. You know, they're not worried about a nice fancy car or putting some big chrome rims on the wheels. They're not worried about getting the latest PS3 and the latest new game that came out. They're just happy if they got, you know, just a couple pairs of pants and a couple shirts to wear, you know, because a lot of them only have one shirt and one pants, and that's the same thing they wear all the time, and they just have to wash it and then put it back on, and so they don't have a lot of stuff. And so for us, we really have a lot, especially when you think about what other people have. And so that's one thing I wanted to just try to encourage you guys to think about, that verse about rejoicing always. You know, because you have a lot. You've got nice clothes. You've got a church to come to where people will tell you about Jesus, and you can be with your friends. You can play games. You can learn the Bible. Right? You're not starving. There's food to eat. So you have a lot to be thankful for, and it's important because the Bible said it's God's will for us to be rejoicing and to be praying. So one other thing, maybe I could tell you a little story about something that happened to me while I was over there, because I found out that praying without ceasing is a very it can come in handy, especially when you don't know what's going on, you know, and you don't know what's happening. And this one time I had traveled out into the bush. It's kind of out in the wilderness, and you know, I got out there, and you know, we came out there to tell everybody about Jesus. And there are people that really have maybe only heard about Jesus a little bit, or maybe some of them never. And I had a Kenyan man with me that was going to help me translate. But we get out there, and everybody was drunk when we got there, and we were sad. We were discouraged because it's pretty hard to talk to a drunk person about Jesus, because they really aren't in their right mind. You know, they're not. It'd be a hard time for them to even remember what happened the next day. So we decided we'll just have to wait until tomorrow, you know, and talk to them about the Lord tomorrow. But for now, we'll just pray. And so we went back and we put our tents up, and we're praying to God, Lord, please, you know, help these people out here, that you would take away that desire of alcohol, and that they would see that you are the true life, and that if they would just receive you, they won't want the alcohol anymore. They'll be filled with the joy that you give them. And so we're just praying and praying, and then next thing you know, a couple young guys come, and they have this old man with them, and they kind of drag him in. He's kind of like this, and he's really drunk, and they just take him and they just lay him down right in front of us. Then they take off and leave, and we're like, what are we supposed to do with this guy? You know, they didn't tell us anything. So we said, well, I guess we can pray, because when you don't know what to do, sometimes that's all you can do is pray. So we just start praying for this guy. Lord, please touch this guy and work in his life. Let him be free from this alcoholism that's got a hold of him, and you know, let him have a heart that can understand what your word is. And you know, we're praying like this for him. And then all of a sudden, he gets up, and he's got his walking stick with him, and he just looks at me, and he marches really quick over to me, and he kind of comes quickly, and I got a little nervous. Because, I mean, he's got a staff, you know, he's got a stick. He is an old man, and I'm a young guy. I could probably get out of his way or do something, you know, but, I mean, I surely didn't come out there to fight with anybody, you know, but I'm thinking, is this guy going to come over and bop me in the head, or what's going to happen here? And so I just start praying right into his face, you know. I'm just, I don't know what else to do. And he comes over, and I don't know exactly why I didn't move or leave or get out of the way, but it kind of happened quickly, and he just spit on his hands, and he came up and he wiped them on my face. And then he spit on his hands again, and he wiped them on my shirt, and he spit on his hands again and wiped them on my arms. And I'm just like, wow, you know, this guy has just put witchcraft on me or something. You know, I'm in trouble or something. You know, he's cursed me. But my Kenyan friend comes over and he puts his hand on me and he says, you know, this man has just blessed you very much. You know, this is what they do when they want to bless you and tell you you're welcome here and we appreciate you and we like you and we want good things to happen to you. So, yeah, I'm not encouraging you to spit on each other, but that was surely something kind of weird, right? I mean, that was strange. But you know, I think that because I was praying for him, you know, God kind of helped me not react in a bad way, you know, like kick the guy or, you know, do something bad, you know, but I let him do it to me, and, you know, it ended up that, you know, we developed a relationship with him and the other elders of that community, and, you know, and about 2 days later, they decided to let us build a church there on that property. And so it was really neat because all we could do is for the first day or two was just go around and pray, and then when we finally talked to